Will I ever wear this in public? Probably not. It's like barely fit. It was just a little bit crazy. I can fix this. Hey guys, today in this video, I'm gonna be making, the original plan was to make a dress and this to be like the practice top because I've never used this pattern before, but I definitely messed up on a lot of different things. So if you're gonna watch the video, make sure you just watch it first the whole way through just to learn how I fix my mistakes, just so you don't make them as well. Just if you're following along as like a tutorial, and I hope you like the video. I definitely tried my best. I will hopefully make a dress in the future, but maybe with a little bit more brainstorming, less, I don't know, I feel like I winged a lot of the parts of this project. It was super fun to make. Just, will I ever wear this in public? Probably not. Okay, so the website I used with the pattern as well as the sizing chart will be linked. My waist measurements didn't fully exactly line up with the pattern, but everything else did, like the bust and the hips, so I kind of just went off that. I cut it a size bigger than I thought I needed, which was a good idea because I almost ran out of fabric as it was. It almost barely fit the top I made. So I used like practice fabric, which is just like scrap fabric that I had, because I wanted to make a practice version of the top because I thought I was going to make a dress after, but I ran out of time. I cut out extra length because I wanted it to be a little bit longer because it's not going to be the top of a dress, but a shirt. So you'll cut out 2 front pieces, 2 back pieces. It says to cut out 4 straps. I only cut out 2 and just folded them over in half and then pinned and sewed them. So they're maybe like a little bit thinner than like the original pattern had suggested, but that's what I did. Then you're just going to take your straps and flip them inside out. So I actually pinned the straps on wrong at first. I'll show you how I fixed it later, but for now just know that you have to attach it to the top. And then I tried to do a sweetheart neckline. This definitely did not work out. Turns out I pinned it to the back, not the front. So yes, I almost ruined the back of my shirt. Then I kind of just got an idea of how I'd pin the back and switched it to the front panel instead. Moral of the story, pay attention to what piece you're about to cut and always double check. As you can see here, the straps were also pinned incorrectly, so always double check again before you sew because sometimes it might be a little bit confusing. And I just fixed that and repinned it. Kind of measure, see if it's like basically symmetrical before you actually go and sew. Then just sew along the pinned area. I probably gave myself about 1/2 inch of seam allowance, probably could have done a bit more, but that's okay. And make sure that it's wrong sides together. By that, I just mean make sure it's the side of the fabric that you don't want to be on the outside, but on the inside of your shirt. Then you're just gonna pin the other sides of the straps to the back of the shirt. And you can flip this inside out as well before you sew, just to make sure that you pinned it correctly and that the straps are not twisted. Then you're just going to flip it good sides out, or the side that you want to show, and here's the full length of the straps just extended. In no way me saying that the pattern that I used was bad, I just kind of messed it up and did it wrong. That's what I get for winging it. Okay, so basically I just kind of tried to get an idea of how long the hem would be before I sewed on the zipper, and I had to seam rip out one of the sides, not both because I only put in one zipper. Well, technically both sides, like the front and back of the shirt, but not both left and right sides of the shirt. Then I just pinned the zipper in place to sew it, and I didn't cut it to the end after I'd sewn it in place, just to be safe. Then
Then you're just going to make sure to backstitch when you start and end, and sew with a straight stitch along the edge, allowing some seam allowance. Then my needle unexpectedly broke and I just quickly replaced it. I haven't actually had to replace it in quite a long time. This one has lasted me a good amount of time, as I have not been using super thick fabrics though, so it makes sense. And surprise! The straps were twisted. I did not make sure that they were not twisted before I sewed. Then I just cut the zipper to make it a little bit shorter. You won't see it, it's on the inside of the shirt anyways. And then I just kind of compared to make sure it's about a similar size for each. Not that it really matters, like the size of the end, because it's on the inside of the shirt. Then I seam ripped off the strap because I need to fix it because I sewed it on wrong. I then untwisted the straps and repinned them to the shirt. You're just going to want to make sure that your straps are not twisted and that they're pinned on right. Before you sew them onto your shirt, I recommend trying them on. I went over the seam a couple times because you want to make sure that your straps are securely attached. Now what you're going to want to do is just pin at the side. I recommend putting it inside out, so right sides together, and just pinning it up and trying it on to make sure that it fits, and then adjust the tension as necessary as the fabric is a little bit thicker. So I didn't really use a lot of seam allowance, probably about like 1/4 of an inch, but I wanted to make sure that I left as much fabric as possible while still having my needle on the fabric. Then I just started to pin the hem on. I folded over the two edges and tried my best to line it up and to make it even around the shirt. I did this because I didn't have a lot of fabric, so to create a hem from within the shirt would have taken extra fabric and made it even shorter, and I'd already sewn in the zipper and everything, so I just decided to do this and kind of use it to seal the raw edges while giving it a clean, symmetrical edge to the best of my ability. And it kind of gave it this nice like waistband effect. So now you're just gonna sew the hem up onto the shirt, and you could use a matching color to your fabric, a contrast color. Here I use white because I like the way it blends with the fabric better than actually the pink thread that I have. I think this is the only thread that actually showed up on the exterior. The other threads were all on the inside of the shirt because of right sides together.
Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you liked it, and hopefully if you've made some of these mistakes in the past, maybe you will learn how to fix them, or you know how to avoid them so you don't make them. Have a great day. See ya! Thank you so much for 370 subscribers. That's crazy. I checked my phone one day. I was like, what? So thank you so much for that. It means a lot, and I can't wait to keep growing this community.